Talk to me. You guys
See,
still
people,
like that,
people
huh?
actually,
That's funny.
people actually doubted that was what it meant, and then when they saw the Hard Knocks and actually saw you say it,
Really?
they made them believe it because they thought you were talking,
Like nonsense, like, or, oh, nah, dude. If I wanted to talk smack, I think you'd probably know I'm talking smack. That's not even close. It's just part of the game. It's fun. Like that was fun, and that talk to me thing, really, that's like as we came into OTAs, Jalen Waddle was like that. That was Jalen Waddle would just say that constantly throughout OTAs, and then I guess it just been used so much. Like I just started saying it to a point where everyone was like, "That's hilarious!" Every time you say it. In practice, I'd throw a bomb, and the D-line's like, "Bro, seriously?" And I look at them, and I'm like, "Talk to me," and then they'd start laughing, and then they'd start using it too. And it really started out that way. So I take no credit, and then like that's Jalen Waddle's deal. But the whole signal thing, like, just made it even funnier. It heightened it. So people that knew. That were inside knew what that was, could sort of hear me saying it, and could hear other people saying that when I gestured that. So that's what that was.
Have you warmed up a little bit to Hard Knocks? I know early on you weren't totally thrilled that they were here. Has it?
No, yeah, they didn't air my episode from the house yet.
No.
Okay.
You got us.
I was messing. No, I was kidding. No, they haven't asked this week or last week. I'm sure they have asked Ann, but Ann hasn't brought it to my attention yet, or I don't know. But I mess around with them with that as well. I'll just tell them I'll see you guys later on tonight, and they think it's funny when they know it's like I don't know if he's being serious or he's not being serious. So. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, still a lot of games left.
One thing the last Hard Knocks showed was a speech that Mike gave the team where he took a lot of accountability for some of his play calls. So what does that mean to you, to the players, when a coach is taking that level of accountability on himself?
Yeah, I think that shows the leadership that he has, that it's not something that is a one-time deal. It's something that, as a team, we're actually sort of used to. He's one of the first to admit he's wrong when he is wrong. And he's going to be also the first to admit that if it was a baller play call, that it was a baller play call. Like that's the reason as to why we work, why we do this, why we invest so much into it. But it's sort of at a point where, like, because he takes so much accountability, everyone also shares that same trait of, like, no, it's my fault. I could have did better on my part, or everyone feels that sort of need or want to take the fall or take the blame. But it's rare that I think you ever see that in this league, because it is tough, and it is a job, and it is result oriented. What you put out there is basically however long you are able to keep your job or whatever it is. But that's what this league is, and I think it's super cool that he does that, and it trickles down to all of us.
How much do you take away from the Bills-Cowboys game last week when looking at the Cowboys defense, considering their whole body of work has been much better than what you saw last week?
Yeah, I don't necessarily look at one particular game when we watch games. But you do want to look at games that, where they struggled, what were their struggles, things that we can take advantage of, within the pass game, the run game. But, I sort of think of our team last week coming off the loss to Tennessee. I can sense that that's where they would probably be. Not a very fun team meeting to be in, and guys are going to be dialed in, locked in, doing whatever they need to do to get that feeling, off their chest or off their shoulders. And so for me, we're going to prepare the same way we've prepared for any other team. So we're expecting their best. They're going to do anything and everything they can, to beat us, and we're going to do the exact same.
Mike was asked earlier about your interceptions and the fact that you haven't really thrown any in the past 3 games, and he said that's natural that you're going to throw picks, but he feels like you're progressing each game. How do you think you've grown maybe from the beginning of the season to now in the final month of the season?
Well, I think there's continued growth every time I step out on that field. There's always something new that I can learn. Just when you think you got it and you've been playing for however many games, there's always going to be new things, new challenges, new obstacles. But that's the beauty of this game, and for me, I think that's also allowed me to be the human that I am also. And I think in this league you also mature a lot quicker, because as good as things can be, they can be just as bad the next week or the following week. And through all of those obstacles of the wins and the losses, so many things that you can learn from. And this league is just like golf. Like, you can go out and shoot really good one day, and then you're like, oh, I'm in my rhythm. The next day you go out and you forgot how to even hit the ball the way you were hitting it yesterday, and it'll humble you in that sense. So it's just like golf. Golf and football is the best way I could sort of correlate that.
Real quick, I'm sorry if I could, just building off of his question. Deron Bland has a lot of splash plays this year. When you watch him on tape, what do you see?
Yeah, I mean, you don't just you just don't show up on Sundays and and poop that out, if you will. Having an NFL record and pick sixes and whatnot, you don't just show up on Sundays and do that. So he's done a great job. I think Dan Quinn has done a great job for their defense as well. They got really talented players up front, really talented players in the back end. And we know what we're going to have to do. We know what kind of game this is going to be. It's going to be a hard-fought, physical 60-minute game, and we'll be ready come time Sunday.
Somebody had a question, Liz? Go ahead. Okay. I know Mike worked under Dan Quinn, and you're so candid and honest. I know you're going to give me an honest answer. How much does that help you when a guy has worked under a coach and he knows his ins and outs of his defense, and obviously not with the Cowboys, but his mentality and tendencies?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it could go both ways of Mike understanding sort of how Dan has ran his defense, or how his he would game plan for teams and whatnot. But I also think that with Dan knowing that that we could expect things that other teams have ran that have been successful against us as well. So it's sort of in between of, we know, but then at the same time be prepared for the unknown. You got to stick to your rules. What do your rules tell you? This is how you're going to have to read this out if that's the case. And then same thing could be for Dan, been around, how Mike installs run game, how they've done things with Kyle and whatnot. So I think it could work both ways, but we'll just be ready for the unexpected.
Raheem was talking after the game about Waddle and how maybe he was beating himself up throughout the year that he performs like he does. What have you seen in Waddle throughout the year and now after that big game Sunday? Yeah,
I personally, I've seen someone that's just came in, day out, just grinding. Not once did I ever see him feel sorry for himself throughout the success that Tyreek has had. But you could see that there had been some times where it's like, man, I sort of wish I was involved more, or this happened more, this happened. But it's one of those deals where I've said it before, where we've called a play for Waddle to be the person, to be first in that progression, and it just so happens the defense doesn't allow for that route to be open. But as anyone else would, he was frustrated. I'm sure he was very frustrated, coming from being the wide receiver one in my rookie year and in my second year to, wide receiver one, wide receiver 1B, like where do I fit in this offense? And so for him to have been able to go out, and show to everyone and remind everyone, like letting you guys know, like I'm still that person. Like if you guys allow me that opportunity. So very proud of what he's done, what he's put on tape, and what he continues to do for our team. But yeah, that's what I'd say about that.
So you guys can clinch a playoff spot if you win this weekend. How important or how meaningful will that be for you getting to play this late into the year and have that opportunity to do it here?
I wish you didn't share that. I wish you didn't share that. I had no idea about any of the scenarios of what that would have looked like. At any time, we just want to come out the game with a win, and we want to stack those together. And so, if you can win them all, that's what it is.
Weren't the Cowboys your favorite team growing up?
Yeah, yep. Cowboys are my favorite team growing up. They played on prime time a lot, and in Hawaii, prime time is like 3:00 p.m. You're like, dang, it's night over there. It's like the sun is still up over here. So, yeah, I come from a family that they're big Cowboys fans, but not anymore. Not anymore. Everyone's Dolphins fans, and then the ones who still support the Cowboys, they're probably not my family, anyways.
What's it going to be like playing them for the first time?
Say what?
What's it going to be like playing them for the first time? The team that you grew up rooting for.
It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool for the moment, just being able to see the star, being able to see those guys in their jerseys, whatever and whatnot. Some of the guys that are playing, I used to watch them while I was in high school, playing high school football, and now I get to play against, some of the guys on their team. So that'll be cool. But at the end of the day, I got a job, and we want to go out there and we want to beat them.
Mike just said it's been a long time since the defense has played what they've shown you on tape, adjusting to your motion and timing. Can you maybe share the evolution for you in like controlling the offense when it comes to timing and motion and what a defense is supposed to do versus what they do?
Yeah, well, I would say with our motions, it gets to a point where if we just call a play without emotion, it's like it's very weird, and it's not just weird for me, it's weird for the entire offense. Like, are you sure we're just lining up and running this play? There are perks to like doing both, where it's like, okay, they've motioned so many times, like, and we've got however many looks from them, like we're expecting that. So guys are gonna get ready, they're looking at their keys, and sometimes we'll just come up and snap the ball and not motion. I think all of that plays into the rhythm of our offense. They also play into keeping the defense on their toes. Like every play we have to communicate. We don't know what that's going to look like, but we're going to have to communicate, if that's with the front, with the change of strength with the Y, or the other motions. The back end's going to have to communicate. So that's what it forces those guys to do. And for us, I think because we've seen so many different looks off of those motions. It sort of helps, how we need to block it in the run game, and then where we can see, in as far as space within their defense with the routes that we have.
Growing up.
Without Tyreek last week and being able to put up 30 points and move the ball like you guys did, was that something that confirmed something within yourselves, or was any criticism about your ability to do so without him something that came mainly from outside the building?
No, I would say it's always tough when you don't have one of your best guys out there. To me, I'd personally say like none of us really cares who's out there or who's not. Like at the end of the day, whoever's in there, we all trust that we can get it done with those people. Even when I wasn't in there last year, like that was the mindset that those guys had. Like, okay, like Tua's down, we can't do anything about it. Tyreek's down, like we can't do anything about it. We got to go out there. We still got to play. Those guys don't care that Tyreek's out. Like those guys didn't care that I was out last year. It doesn't matter. We got to go out there and play. And I think that should tell you a lot about the guys that were out there. everyone wants to make this, like I keep saying, everyone wants to make this about me, about Tyreek. Like, please keep pushing it to Tyreek. Like, make it about Tyreek. I understand that my platform and who I am in this league as a quarterback makes me, if you want, polarizing, whether I'm the best, whether I'm the worst. Like, I could care less. Like, I don't listen to it. This is my bearer of bad news, and Nolan. I hate to say it. I hate to say that, but that's my bearer of bad news. If anyone has something if anyone has something bad to say about me, but at the end of the day, like I really don't care. But if she does share it with me, I mean, I keep receipts. We all have a way of how we do things, but like all the narratives about it, I am only good with Tyreek, and that you're right. That is the only time I am at my best. You're right. I'm only good when Jalen's in. I could care less about it. Like, sure, if Jalen and those guys aren't out, like, I'm only as good as Raheem Mostert allows me to be. Like, that's what the narrative needs to be, and we're able to win games, and we're able to go where we want to go as a team. I am the worst football player, if that's what you want. Like, I don't care. Like, I really don't. So whatever it is, whatever you need on your show, like, take clips out of what I just said. Do what you need to do. Like that, I'm just here to do my job, and my job is to help our guys win games.
So Tua, it's not a narrative. It's actually a fact that you're the most popular player in the NFL among fans. No player has more No, but I'm going to ask you how you feel about it. No player is more popular than you. You're number one in fan support.
Nice.
How do you feel about that?
It makes me feel weird. It's different. Just because I try not to make things about myself. I like to make it about others. That's probably, that it's unique, I would say. But of course, I appreciate the support from the fans. I appreciate, those that are in support of me and my teammates. I don't know what allows you, like, what makes you say that? Like, what statistic is?
Pro Bowl.
Oh. Oh, okay, got you.
When you see all the one jerseys, is it something that it's just so common it doesn't even resonate with you, or does it still have like a little impact on you? There's so many jerseys. These people are wearing your number.
Well, for me, like every time I step out there on the field, it's always just about like me proving myself like right every time. Like, dude, yeah, you came into this league, like I would even question myself, like, am I even like good? Like, like do I even belong in this league? Things like that. And then it's like every time I step foot out on that field and I see someone wearing my jersey, like, yeah, it's like, dude, I want to prove myself right, but prove like, to those people as well. Like, dude, yeah, like you had to have bought that jersey for a reason. Like, whether you're a fan of me as a football player, or a fan of my journey, or a fan of things I've done, like, yeah, every time I see that, I'm like, that's super cool. Because as a kid growing up, I would do the same for like other players. Like, I'd wear their jerseys hoping to be like them, and then now like it's come full circle. So to be able to hear that, that's very cool. That's very cool, and just the how that process works, it's cool. But like I said, it's also a little weird when I become the spotlight of it.
Your brother's about to go into the draft, preparing for the draft. What was your reaction to hearing that, and what advice do you have for him?
I'm always here for Leah. I'm always here for you. You know that. Whatever you need, I can help with. But outside of that, I just tell my brother to listen to what he thinks is best when he hires agents, or when he has to go throughout that process of that. But I'm not the one that's going to tell you who you should go with or whatnot. Like, that should be totally up to you, because when it's your decision, regardless of if it's right or wrong, in the end, you'll always make it right.